What's up, guys? Welcome to the Toy Vox. Today we're going to be looking at the Joy Toy Warhammer Blood Angels set, and I'm going to start off the bat saying, and I'm not going to jump right into it at first, but there's going to be some controversy with this set. There's some items that are not going to be included for everybody, and I'm going to get into that in a bit. But again, this is the Blood Angels wave. We've got a Redemptor. We've got 4 other characters. Reminiscent of the last video that I made. If you haven't watched it, please go check it out. We look into the Imperial Fist wave. So we've got a Redemptor, 4 characters. Let's get into it. So first up, looking at this Redemptor. Again, it's a complete repaint. Unlike the Ultramarines had a different laser cannon arm. This one has a Gatling gun, just like the Imperial Fist. Let's go ahead and look at this picture. So this is our front view. From here you can see the Gatling gun. You can see its arm almost has claws. Those fingers are articulated. You can see a sarcophagus in the center that does open up. Let's go and check out the back view. So from this back view you can see, you'll see it in the knees, you'll see it in the elbows. It is hidden throughout the rest of the body, but this has a ratchet joint system, which will essentially let you keep those dynamic poses. It's going to keep your figure standing up correctly. It's not going to sag, and those joints won't get loose over time to where basically your figure's just doing a shelf dive. You know, you spend $150, $160 plus on this thing. The last thing you want is to come home and see it laying on the floor in pieces. So these ratchet joints are really going to help protect against that. Let's see, let's go to our next picture. Alright, so this is the detailed display photo, which basically points out some of the cool details. Again, you've got that Gatling gun, you've got a logo on the leg, it's showing you the sarcophagus logo. Here's that sarcophagus opened up. Unfortunately, this does not have a figure. You can't fully open a sarcophagus to even pull out a torso or a head. So you're just getting the Redemptor with this. It is a vehicle, but no, there are no figures inside. But that's pretty much the Redemptor. The Redemptor, although it is very detailed, very massive, this thing is 30 centimeters tall, which is about 12 inches. If you have a DTOLF display and you're wondering, hey, is this going to fit? Yes, it will. If you're familiar with 1/6 scale figures, 12-inch scale figures, this is about that size. You put them up against the Hot Toys Boba Fett, they're going to be the same height. So this will fit in a DTOLF. But check your measurements if you have a shelf where you think, okay, I know where I'm going to display this. Check your measurements. If it's I would say anything anything below 12.5 inches, this isn't going to fly for you. And the reason why I say that is I am not sure if the attachment on the top of it that looks like a rocket launcher, I'm not sure if that is included in the overall 12-inch height. Again, if it's not included, then you're not going to have enough room. But that's the Redemptor Dreadnought. We're going to move on to the figures. The first one, part of the Blood Angels Paragons of Ball set, is going to be Soldier Number 1. His name is Veteran Alberigo. He's, again, that Roman style. It's so sick. You see his crown of thorns. He also has one on his jetpack. He comes with a sword. Let's go ahead and go to the next picture where you see that frontal shot, the display detail. Again, there's that helmet, his shoulder pad detail, his knee skull. That's amazing. Let's go to the next photo here. This is your front and back image. And you're going to see that cape. I've mentioned this in the video before, but again, I'm going to treat it like no one knows what these are. They've never heard of these before. This might be the first video they've ever seen. So that cape, it's a very pliable material. It's not cloth. It's not hard plastic. It's a very soft, almost vinyl-like ABS material. It is pliable. You can bend it. It does not stay into place. And with that being said, when you go to pose your figures, maybe you want to have them crouching down, that cape will get in the way. It will bend out of the way. But if you have your figure crouched down and you have that cape bowed up, it may create enough force to where your figure is going to basically fall over. It may not hold that pose. So here's this figure's layout. So we've got a cape, obviously. We've got, and my favorite thing, a holstered and unholstered pistol. If you, again, watch the Imperial Fist video I mentioned, and it really irritates me when they will include a holstered pistol, and then you don't actually have the ability to have a pistol and an unholstered holster to go into your figure. So anyways, enough of that ranting. I promise I'm not going to do it in another video again. So we have an empty holster, a holster with a gun in it. We've got a little cargo pouch, his backpack, a pistol, a charm, a sword, and then 4 posing hands, not including the ones that are already on the figure. So we know for a fact we're getting 6 hands here. Those are dynamic hands. Again, I love it. They can point, they can wave, one of those hands can be used to try and tell someone, hey, stop. But we're finally starting to get, I guess, more accessories. But they're really, I think Joy Toy is starting to look at, hey, people are really posing these figures. They're buying multiples, and they kind of need them to stand out from each other. So the next figure is going to be soldier number 2. His name is Veteran Solace. He's got a chalice in his hand. You can see from this picture right here, he looks amazing. Unhelmeted sculpt. Let's go ahead and go to the next picture here for our detail display. So again, we're seeing that skull painted on the knee, showing a little bit of detail in his sword. That really, really cool piece that's on his backpack. Almost that crown, half crown. Let's go ahead and check out the next picture. Here's our front and back. You can see here he's got a tunic that's in the front and the back. Again, pliable material. That's the same material as the cape. It'll get in the way, but as you can see here, it's a smaller piece. Maybe when he gets in a crouching position, that might hinder that a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. That should bend out of the way. Let's go ahead and go to the next picture. So here's his layout. So again, he comes with a chalice. He has a holstered, unholstered pistol. He's got, looks like 2 cargo pouches. That little can, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it holds a Sprite, who knows. We've got an alternative helmeted head, which is awesome. This figure is really decked out. We've got his back jetpack. We've got a sword, and again, 6 hands total. This is great. I'll be displaying him with this chalice, drinking with the boys. And so far, I think this is the best figure out of the set, just based on what he comes with. I mean, the chalice, of course, that's my biggest draw to this. I really like the gold helmet. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this one is Soldier 3. His name is Veteran Vigna. Really cool charm. Just seeing this picture off the bat, that charm on his backpack is so sick. With that skull with the wings. Let's go ahead and look at his detail display. So we've got again the the Soldiers of Ball logo there on his shoulder. Looking at his sword, that skull on the knee, matching the rest of his brothers here. Let's go ahead and look at the front and back. So again, kind of like Solace. Same loadout really here. We've got the tunic front and the back. Let's go ahead and go to the next picture here. Here's his loadout. So we've got backpack. We've got 2 cargo pouches. Again, holstered and unholstered pistol, sword, 6 hands. I mean, this figure is awesome. But so these figures do start to feel the same, which that's okay. Thankfully, we can buy these individually now as opposed to sets. But stick around. So this is Brother Vigna. Let's go ahead and check out the next character. So this one is Veteran Soldier number 4. His name is Leonidas. So here's his detail display. Again, it's kind of reminiscent of every character in this line. They all start to match. It almost starts to feel the same, but that's okay. So we see the Blood Angels logo on his shin. Let's go ahead and look at the front and back. Again, tunic, front and back. Figure looks great. He's going to pose well. Let's go ahead and look at his layout. Again, starting to be the same, except this guy here has a smaller knife and a sheath, which is a really nice touch. And again, if you buy a couple extra of these figures, maybe you decide that you want that sword and sheath on another character, you could go ahead and not put some of his accessories on. If you look to the left of his belt, you'll see a little plug, and you're actually able to plug in his accessories there. So on the back of his pistol holster, or those pouches, or even that sheath for that small sword, they have a little knob, and you can actually see it at the bottom of that holster. That little knob will actually plug in. There's holes all around the waist, so you can kind of mix and match. That way, when you decide, okay, hey, I really like this character, but I need more. Okay, I just got into the set. Blood Angels is my favorite. These are the only 4 I can find. So you can actually army build, and these accessories essentially will allow you to kind of swap, mix and plug and play is what I like to call it. So you can plug and play here and really change up a character to where you might have 7 of these guys, but they all look different. And that is the new Blood Angels wave from Joy Toy Warhammer. And now we can get in to the controversy of this set. So it was broken. So the news broke probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we were shown images of a few helmets, and I'll go ahead and put that image up, and you will see there's 3 helmets. They may be Mark 7, they may be Mark 8. I'm sorry, tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. When they revealed these helmets, there was a lot of people that got excited. They said, hey, look, there's even more of a reason for me now to buy multiples of this figure. There's a problem. So these are actually going to be exclusive to China. And we're unsure as of right now if that means that if any distributor in China that sells these figures, if they're going to actually ship them outside of the country. More than likely, that's not going to be the case. So for anyone that lives outside of China that are looking at these helmets right now and they're like, man, I can't wait, I've got bad news, it's not going to happen. From what I've read and a few conversations online, so whether or not Games Workshop said, hey, Joy Toy essentially got a little bit ahead of themselves, started manufacturing a few parts without Games Workshop's final approval, and somewhere along the lines, maybe they were given permission to release these to the public. Unfortunately, that public is China only. I'm bummed about it. I'm going to try my damnedest to track these heads down without getting anybody in trouble. Maybe you'll have luck. There's a few people online that you may be able to talk to that live in China that are willing to ship these to you. That's basically going to be your only way of getting these outside of eBay or secondary markets. So it's unfortunate. I guess it is what it is. The heads are beautiful, and maybe further down the line, Games Workshop will hear this and decide, the fans want this. We're going to go ahead and get with Joy Toy and approve it. That would be best case scenario. Obviously, worst case scenario is where we sit now, that all we have to look at is pictures, and we're never going to get to have these on our shelves. So that's the bad news. Thank you for sticking around. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It's at JoyToyWarhammer. Find me on TikTok. That's also at JoyToyWarhammer. Go to my Twitter account. In the bio, you're going to see a link that takes us to our Discord. Our Discord server is growing by the day. We're 800 plus members. It's an amazing source of news. There's amazing collectors in there, amazing people. So stop on in, hang out, talk toys, and have a good one.